All right, so this is the chuck roast that I got. It's a prime chuck roast. I picked it up from Costco, and you'll notice it's got some fat in there, and on the other side it's got decent fat here. But I mean, it's got some really good marbling, and that's what I'm kind of excited about. Is that because a lot of the time with chuck roast you'll get these big slabs of fat like around the outside, and that doesn't make for great meat. But when it's all marbled in like this is where the flavor goes. So basically what I'm going to do, this is going to be going in the smoker tomorrow for a couple hours, and then it's going to slow cook with the other spices on it. But what I'm going to do is use some of this just to kind of give it a little bit of a sticky surface, because I'm going to salt and pepper this and let it sit in the fridge overnight with some salt and pepper on it to kind of act as a, not really a marinade, but the salt will draw some of the moisture out, and it'll help flavor everything up. So I'm just going to be rather liberal with the salt. I mean, it's a big chunk of meat, so I'm not too worried about over salting it. Now the salt will draw some of the moisture out of the meat, and it's going to kind of pool up on the meat, and then it will kind of suck back in. It'll bring that salt back in to the meat with it, so it kind of flavors it. That's what brining does, and marinating and stuff like that. So let's flip this over to the other side. All right, well, it's going to go into the fridge like this, uncovered, and it's going to do its thing. I'm going to get up nice and early tomorrow, pull it out, bring it up to room temp, and then get this thing into the smoker, and we will go from there. Alrighty, it is just a little bit after 7 o'clock in the morning. That's why I'm kind of talking quiet, so I don't disturb my neighbors. Got a little, I'll show you here. Got some pecan. I'm using pecan today along on top of the coals, and got some decent smoke happening. And just show you what. There she is. So we'll let that just kind of. Oops. We're gonna let that soak up some smoke for a couple hours. We'll get that temperature up a little bit, but I have the door open, so here we go. Okay, it has been 2 hours, and that's what she looks like. We got some good smoke on here. Oh yeah, get some decent smoke in there. Don't want to overdo it with the smoke, so we'll get this into the dish and into the house and show you what's next. Okay, so I've got the roast in the baking dish here. It's been smoked for a couple hours. You can see it's got it's got a little bit of color to it, which is great. So what I'm going to start with is some au jus gravy mix. And there's a ranch dressing. Uncle Dan's is a Pacific Northwest thing, but you can use whatever dry ranch dressing mix is available in your area. And then you're going to get a full stick of butter. Yes, butter, not margarine, not country crock, not lard or whatever, but butter. That's what you want. Okay, now I've got some pepperoncinis, or however you say it. And where'd my tongs go? Here we go. Just want to kind of get a bunch of these in here. Now, I see recipes where they say use 4. I see where they use, 8, whatever. I'm just going to throw a bunch of them in here just because I like the flavor. Oh, there's a little tiny one. Isn't that cute? Some say half a jar, some say a full jar, whatever. I got this jar at Costco, so. And there's only a couple left in here, so I'm just going to use the rest of them. Because I make this dish quite a bit, actually. Okay, now for liquid, a lot of the recipes I say to use water. I do not use water. I use the brine from the mix. Maybe that's a little shy of a half a cup. Let's try to get that around everywhere. And okay, I've got an oven preheated to 300 degrees. I'm going to let this sucker get happy for a few hours. Check it, see how tender it is. Let it cook a little longer if it needs to. So I'll let you know. Alrighty then. That means it's done resting. Turn that off. And we're going to see what we got here. Where did my hot pads go? Alrighty. Now this has been allowed to rest for about, what was it? I think I did 17 minutes. Split the difference between 20 and 15 there. And let's just see. Oh yeah, look at that. This falls right apart. Look. Ooh, yeah. This is going to be good. Look at that. Oh yeah. This is what you want. Now, some people will just serve it in chunks or cut it up. I like to shred it and put it onto sandwiches, or just, serve it with a roll or something. Or with potatoes is good. You get some smashed potatoes together. It's not too bad. So I'm going to shred this up and show you what it looks like after I'm done. Okay, so it's all shredded up here. And it's looking pretty good. Got rid of some of the larger chunks of fat that nobody likes to really eat. Well, maybe not nobody, but I definitely don't. So let's give it a little taste. Looks like a decent little chunk there. And oh yeah, that's the one. So yeah, I'm just gonna let it just live in all of this juice here, because that's what's that's the mojo right there. That's all that voodoo is in that juice. All right, well, I'm going to throw the cover back on this and get this to the party. Super easy recipe. You don't have to smoke it. I like to add the smoke just because it adds a little kick to it. But if you have a crock pot or a nice slow oven and you're doing chores all day, this is a super easy recipe to do, and it'll make everybody in your family fat and happy. Cheers.